Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're in Halls of Torment. Now, I've had one of the commenters ask if we can do a guide for shard farming for the folks who aren't ready to do high torment levels yet, or who aren't super rich with gold or green gear. So we're going to do that today. We're going to start with a vault. This guide might have a few sections to it, so check the timestamps if you want to jump around. What we're going to do is go in with 0 shards, and we're going to go in with all white gear, and I'll show you how to get it done. So you can use this guide to even get your first clear on the vault, because we're going to use only white gear and 0 shards. I'll show you. So we are going to use the Cleric still, but we've got 0 shard investment. And if you have a look at the gear setup, we're going with all white gear. Now the loadout is actually quite similar to what I used for doing the speed runs. So we are going to use a Thorn Fist build here. Now the white version only gives us a 3 times over crit, so it's not as powerful. Because we're only using white gear, I only have access to 1 guiding star. We can't equip 2, so I've only got 1 on for the extra movement speed. For the other ring, I've just gone for the crit bonus to help out with the Thorn Fist damage. Here, I've just used the white hood for defensive movement speed. We are going to stick with Mark of the Sword. Now, I've put the running shoes on. Now, we are going to be relatively slow in here, so running shoes are nice. If you find that you are still struggling to stay alive, you can put on just the white plated boots too for an additional 10 base defense, but I think having a little bit extra move speed in here is actually quite nice. We're going to go in with Defiant Plate. This one does not have the physical blast, so we're not getting extra DPS output from that. And we are going to use the Jeweler Spark, so we are getting a bit of extra damage output from this thing. So this is one item that is going to provide us a little bit extra damage that maybe you haven't grinded a whole lot yet, but I would recommend grinding out a Jeweler Spark if you don't have one. All of this gear is accessible before you've ever beaten the vault. So I'll show you, it's actually quite easy to beat the vault for the first time with this loadout. Let's go. Now, you absolutely do not want to see boss health as your modifier here. It is the worst one by far. Traps. All right, we can do traps. So the strategy here is actually quite simple. If you have watched any of the speedruns videos, you'll see how much slower we are though, like this. We just do want to just sort of avoid the enemies as best we can. There will be traps everywhere now because of the modifier we got. Just want to try and kill them as quickly as we can still. We are going to get surrounded here in a second. Okay, our level up screen was kind of nice there. We can take move speed. I think it's probably more valuable not to dupe it this time around though. Okay, didn't quite die. Okay, there we go. We had to take a few hits there because it didn't quite go down. What I like to do is come in here and actually dupe the base health for this setup here. And we do have some regen, so hopefully we can regen by the time we get to the final boss here. Now we will be picking up the scrolls along the way because we are playing on just white gear and all that stuff. Now, what do we want from here? None of this stuff. Lightning Strikes is kind of interesting. You know what? Let's take Lightning Strikes just to help out. Try to clear some of these ads. Not really very strong by themselves, though. But if they help us stay safe a little bit. Okay, he's aiming at me, but I'm not going to move. Defense is another one we can consider duping here. Okay, we got it. Let's move on. As I said, we are going to grab the extra tomes and stuff because we need the extra damage output. What else do we want right here? I'm not sure. Crit bonus, maybe? Now, because we're a little slower in here too, we are going to actually be able to get up above level 5 too. So, we can even potentially get a second health upgrade or thick hide. We can take metabolism too. Or we can just take damage at this point on our main. You know what? We can do that as well. One thing that's sort of unavoidable if you're only using white gear in here is you're just going to be slower. You don't have access to as many movement speed items. Oh, that was nice and fast now. Very good. Okay, we do have a little bit of health loss there, which is kind of a bummer, but okay, we've got more defense. We take magic damage here too. We might just boost up our damage output here early. Before we even get to the boss. We are going to take a little diversion to grab this one as well. And we don't mind Spirit Dude. You know what? I'm going to take Spirit Dude. I like the Spirit Dude. Okay, that was a kind of bad line. Did a bit of a roundabout way there. Okay, we've got another base health one. I think we will dupe this again. 840 health is much better for the boss than where we were at before, where we started, so... Regen and defense is interesting. Maybe we just take more damage here now, though, if we can get it. Health and defense together is actually okay here, too. You know what? Let's do that. Come on, Cleric. Go faster. Okay. Now, because we're using the Thorn Fist, we still just want to sit on him. Now, we are going to still have to use our revives here to get this done, but that's alright. Damage on our aura? Yeah, why not? Oh my, it's a bit of a mess in here right now. Spirit Dude, yes please. Alright, we got it. 2 minutes 44. There you go. Relatively easy. Now, the interesting thing about this sort of setup is if you do grind some green tier gear for the same loadout, this is going to be much, much easier, and you're going to be able to get probably 4 to 5 shards out of it every run in roughly 3 minutes or so. It's very, very efficient as long as you have gold, but you do need some gold to be able to do this. So you can't just sit in the vault all the time because you will run out of gold. So let's say you've spent all your money farming shards in the vault. You're going to have to come over here into Agony mode to continue farming gold and shards. So I've already got a guide on the channel of how to farm at Torment sort of around 10 to 15, 10 to 20, and that's going to net you a good amount of shards, 15 or more per hour. It is a bit slower than doing the vault, but you're going to need money for the vault. So this is how you come. Now, if you want to farm at lower Torment levels, I've got a build for you right here. Again, we're going to go in with 0 investment in our shards and all white tier gear here. So what are we doing on the archer? We're just going to go with the crit stuff. Crit chance, crit bonus. The hood. We're going to use Mark of the Sanctity. This is for regeneration. We're going to use a Duelist Spark again for the extra damage. Plated boots, Defiant Plate, and Bloodstain Wrappings. So these 3 are familiar items. This thing's going to keep us alive, and then we're just going to spec hard into crit chance, crit damage, attack speed, those sorts of stats, and then just regeneration. And it probably will benefit you to take Thick Hide along the way. Now, with white tier gear, you can totally get this done up to probably Torment 10. Eventually, you are going to want to deck yourself out with green gear, though. But this is a build that can absolutely carry you up to Torment 10. You just have to make sure that you're taking enough regeneration. This is why we put the Cleric's mark on here. At level 60, you get Cleric's Dedication, which if you save your Duplication Tincture 4, can net you an additional 4 HP per second regeneration, which is very, very powerful. And if you add on top of that the percentage-based upgrades that you get by using the Mark of the Sanctity, you can make your regeneration go kind of crazy. And in combination with the healing from the wrappings and crazy high crit chance of damage that you're able to get on the archer here, you are absolutely able to melt through lower Torment levels with this sort of build. It's quite simple. As I said, you take crit chance, crit damage, attack speed. You can take multi-strike too, that doesn't hurt. And then just take regeneration and then a little bit of defense on top of that to make yourself, take a little bit less damage per hit. That's how you farm in here. I think this is one of the strongest builds for lower Torment levels for just white tier gear. Now, once you've farmed up some shards and more gold in here, then you can come back and continue your vault shard farming. And I just sort of jump between the two. That's how I do it. But it's very much possible to do this stuff with white tier gear. It does, however, help if you have your blessings maxed out here. So you are going to have to farm gold. Realistically, the best way to farm gold is just to play the game and do your quests. Doing these quests nets you big chunks of gold for most of them. Although a lot of these are items in here too. Well, this particular one doesn't have that much gold. Let's go to choose this one for an example. There we go. See, lots of gold rewards, or you can just farm your gold in here. There's not really an amazing way to farm gold. Just kill as many high tier enemies as you can. So higher torment levels will net you more gold, but again, you do it on the level that you're comfortable at currently. So there you go, guys. I hope this guide is helpful too. Let me know with a comment down below if you have any more specific type of guides you'd like to see for this game. Happy to do lower torment level or white tier guides, that sort of stuff as well. So just let me know with a comment what is interesting to you. So hope you found something in the video useful. If you did, smash like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Have a great day.